Hi, second graders. Today is Math Day 17. It's for Thursday, April 23rd, 2020. Let's get started. We're going to play a little game to get started to warm up our brains. So here's what I need you to do. I'm going to explain the directions, then you're going to pause, and then you're going to try this game yourself, okay? So here's how it works. You're going to make $1 from the cents that I've already given you. So for example, let's do the first one together. 45 cents plus blank equals $1. What would go in that blank? Well, remember that $1 is actually 100 cents. So really, we're looking to get from 45 to 100. What would it be? 45 plus what equals $1? Well, I know that 45 is close to 50. It's 5 away from 50. And I know that 50 plus 50 doubled equals 100. And since it's 5 away, I'm actually going to add that 5 over here, and then it becomes 45 cents plus 55 cents equals 100. This is a challenge. I'm going to ask you to press pause here and try to figure out 28 cents, 73 cents, 14 cents. Go. All right, check your work. See if you got the same answers that I got. 72 plus 28 equals 100, so it would be 72 cents. 73 plus 27 equals $1, so it would be 27 cents. And then 14 plus 86 equals $1, so that would be 86 cents. It's okay if you didn't get it all the way right, but make sure that you're trying your hardest so that you understand exactly what it looks like to make $1. Okay, second graders, let's try a new clock. So we see two clocks here. One says AM and one says PM. We need to find the difference between these two times. Now, in order to do this first, we first need to identify what time it is. Let's start with AM. If we extend the hour hand for AM, we see that it is closest to 11. So we'll start in the 11 o'clock hour. We see the minute hand is down here pointing to the 6. And we know that we can count the minutes by counting by 5. So let's try it. We start at 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So what time is it? It's 11:30 a.m. Awesome. Let's try this clock. This clock, the hour hand, it's pointing directly at the number 2. So it's 2 o'clock. And let's see the minute hand. Oh my gosh, it's on the 12. And if it's on the 12, then it is exactly 2 o'clock. It's at 0. Now we need to identify the difference between 11:30 and 2. How many hours have passed? So let's take a look. Let's do it on this clock because that's the earlier time. 11:30 comes earlier in the day than 2 p.m. I want my minute hand to get up to the 12, right? So first, I'll start by moving it. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. When I move my minute hand to the 30 minutes, my hour hand also moves so that it's at 12. But we still got to get to 2. So then we add some hours. 1 hour, 2 hours. So let's count our jumps. 1, 2. So 2 hours and 30 minutes is the difference, 2 hours and 30 minutes is the difference between 11:30 a.m. and 2 p.m. Good work, second graders. Let's try this. Kylie started basketball practice at 2:30 p.m. and finished at 6 p.m. How long was Kylie at basketball practice? Well, first, let's draw a time on the clock for 2:30. We know that it's going to be just past the 2 for the hour hand. For the minute hand, we want to count to 30. We just did it in the last problem, but let's do it again. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So it goes down to the 6. So that's what time basketball starts. Now let's draw a clock on the same clock for 6 p.m., but let's use a different color here so we can figure it out. There's 6 p.m. All right, my hour hand, my shorter hand, is going to be right at the 6 because it's exact. And my longer hand is going to be right at the 12, my minute hand, because it says 0 minutes. All right, how can we get our time, our red time, to match our blue time? Well, we want to move our minute hand first, so let's do that. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 30 minutes. And all of a sudden, that red hand is where that blue hand is. When we do that, we know that our hour hand also moves to the 3. Because when our minute hand gets up to the 12, the hour hand moves 1 hour. And now we want to get it to 6, so we're going to count our hops. 1, 2, 3. So let's see, how many hours? 1, 2, 3 hours. And how many minutes? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 minutes. Awesome job. That is really tricky, this elapsed time. It's not simple to do. If you got a little confused on this one, don't worry about it. We'll keep practicing, and you can practice even more at home. And as always, if you have questions, feel free to reach out to me or Miss Weiss so that we can help you. Let's move on. We're going to watch this video again, one more time. Click on the link and enjoy.
Stretch out the hour hand, see where on the clock it lands. The last number it went by is the number 5. Stretch out the minute hand, see where on the clock it lands. Each line equals 1 minute, so the time is 5:06. Every number the hour hand goes by represents 1 hour of time. To count the minutes out of 60, and you'll be telling time with me. Stretch out the hour hand, see where on the clock it lands. 9's the last number it went by, so the hour hand points to 9. Stretch out the minute hand, see where on the clock it lands. It's pointing right at the 5, so the time is 9:25. Every number the hour hand goes by represents 1 hour of time. To count the minutes out of 60, and you'll be telling time with me. Stretch out the hour hand, see where on the clock it lands. The hour hand lasts past the 8, so the hour of time is 8. Stretch out the minute hand, see where on the clock it lands. It points to 4 precisely, so the time is 8:20. Every number the hour hand goes by represents 1 hour of time. To count the minutes out of 60, and you'll be telling time with me. The hour hand is shorter always. It goes around the clock twice each day. First time round is AM. The second time it's called PM. AM starts at midnight's moon and continues until noon. So we call noon 12 PM. And it goes till 12 AM. Every number the hour hand goes by represents 1 hour at a time. And count the minutes out of 60. And you'll be telling time with me. We count 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60 minutes on each clock we see. We count 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60 minutes on each clock we see. Every number the hour hand goes by represents 1 hour at a time. And count the minutes out of 60. And you'll be telling time with me. Visit numberrock.com for exclusive content, lesson material.
After that review, let's try some more with AM and PM. First, we need to draw the hands on the clock to match the time, and then we need to decide if it's morning or afternoon. The sun is rising. Rising means coming up. 6:10. The hour hand is the shorter hand, and it's going to point to the 6. The minute hand is the longer hand, and we start at 12 for 0. 5:10, it's going to point to the 2. Now, is this AM or PM? If the sun is coming up in the sky, is it AM or PM? It would be morning. It's happening in the morning. The sun rises in the morning and sets in the evening. All right, walking the dog. Would you walk the dog at 3:40 in the AM or the PM? So first, let's draw. 3:40. 40 is closer to 60, so it's actually the hour hand is gonna go a little bit over the 3, that short hand. And then let's count to 40. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So our minute hand is gonna point to the 8. Now, would you walk the dog at 3:40 in the morning before the sun rises? Or would you walk the dog at 3:40 in the afternoon after you get home from school? They'd probably do it in the afternoon. So it would be 3:40 p.m. Good job, second graders. Let's try another problem. A movie starts at 11:30 a.m. It finishes at 1:30 p.m. How long does the movie last? So I've already drawn the clocks for you. So now we're just telling the difference between 11:30 a.m. and 1:30 p.m. Well, from a.m. to p.m., 11:30 is actually quite close to noon. And remember that noon is 12 p.m. So if we move our minute hand 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, all the way up to the noon, our hour hand also moves there, and all of a sudden it's p.m. So even though it starts at a.m. and ends in p.m., we're only 30 minutes away from p.m. here. All right, so 11:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Well, let's take a look. Does the minute hand move between these two clocks? No, only the hour hand does. It moves from 11 to just past 1. So let's see. 1, 2. Just moves 2 hours. So the difference, even though it's going from AM to PM, is 2 hours. Does that make sense for how long a movie usually is? Yeah, a movie is usually about 2 hours long. So that makes sense. Now, if it said from 1:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m., that would be a lot longer, right? Because the hour hand would have to move in a big difference. But in this case, the hour hand only had to move a little bit to get from the 11 to the 1. Good work, second graders. All right, let's try another one. Genesis goes to bed at 8. She wakes up at 3:30 a.m. to get to the airport in time. Maybe she has an early flight. How much time did she sleep? Well, let's first draw what 8 p.m. looks like here. Our hour hand points to the 8, and our minute hand points to the 12 exactly because it says 0 for the minutes. She wakes up at 3:30. We're actually going to draw it on the same clock so you can see exactly the difference. The hour hand would point to the 3, and the minute hand, we've done this a couple of times today, would point to the 6 because it's 3:30. So our hour hand needs to get all the way from the 8 to the 3. So let's count that first. We count jumps, remember? So 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours. So she sleeps for 7 hours. And since our minute hand also moved, we need to count to get from 12 to the 6 on the minute hand. I'm going to do it in a different color so we don't get distracted. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So she sleeps for 7 hours and 30 minutes. Ooh, I bet she's tired. That's not enough sleep for a second grader, almost third grader to get. You should be getting about 9 hours of sleep a night. So Genesis slept for 7 hours and 30 minutes. Good job. Here is a really tricky question, and I wish that we could be together so I could hear your amazing responses. These clocks look to me like they could be saying the same time. I see that the hour hand for both of them is pointing to the 8, and the minute hand for both of them is pointing to the 12, which means it's 0 minutes. So it says 8 a.m., 8 p.m. Are these clocks the same or different? Are they showing the same time or different times? They're showing different times. And you know how we know that? That AM and PM clue. 8 a.m. is in the morning. It's like when school starts. 8 p.m. is at night. It's like when you should go to bed. Even though the clocks look the same, they are not the same. They are telling different times. Second graders, it's really important to make sure that you understand that AM and PM show different times. You did an awesome job telling time today. Your practice pages look a lot like this. Keep working hard to solve these problems. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to call or text Miss Weiss or I. We are happy to help. The application problems look a little bit different today to unlock the problems. I'm going to link Miss Tevro's video on our webpage so you can see it as well, which will help you understand the application video. Okay? Good work, second graders. I am so proud of you. Make sure to send me or Miss Weiss a picture of your work today. Have a great afternoon. Bye.